Hey everyone, before this video starts, I'd like to give a special thank you to all my Patreon and Twitch subscribers. If you'd like to learn how to support this channel, possibly for free, just hang out till the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This is what happened to Gus Johnson, from comedian to cancel. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Gus Johnson, so we're going to come to our favorite individual to educate ourselves on YouTube drama. I do know about the situation that happened with with him and his ex-girlfriend, where they basically got into a relationship and they had made an agreement where, you know, if they ever did get pregnant, she was gonna nay the baby, and which is something that's understandable. An arrangement is understandable to make, but ultimately, you know, I think that. When it comes down to it, you as a woman especially, you don't really know how you're going to feel once you get into that scenario, and it gets very complicated because that's a very deeply emotional thing, and it's not that easy to just nay your baby. It can, you know, even if they're in the womb still. Either way, I think the biggest issue though was that he was an asshole to her when she was having like really bad complications with it, and he was being very selfish. And my biggest issue was like he did that and it was shitty. And then when he came back, he wasn't. I don't think he was reasonably apologetic. I remember watching it and I was like, this just feels off. It just doesn't feel like a genuine apology. It just feels like he's covering his bases. What's interesting is when he also tried to come back after that whole controversy, the way that he left, first of all, I thought was like ridiculous. Like he did the typical, I'm just gonna kind of wait it out. Oh guys, I did a bad thing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take a step back, which is very easy for somebody with a lot of money to do. They're going to take a step. It's less taking a step back usually. It's more of like a performative action to make, where you're like, I'm gonna wait for it to blow over because I know it will happen in a month, or I think it will. And he waited like a month, and then what did he do? He posted a video. I think it ended up being like an insensitive video before his apology. Let me see if I can find it. But I remember I was like, ew, what the hell? And it's unfortunate. I don't know if he's continue. Oh, he's been continuing to make stuff, but barely. Yeah. So this one, he made like he came back with like this video or something instead of the apology. So it felt like he only made the apology as a response to the negative, you know, attention that he got. So anyway, that's what I know of Gus Johnson. Let's get right into the news.
And you're never there when I need you. Like at this point, it feels like we should break up. How are you gonna fix this?
Foreshadowing. Epic literary tactic. I don't know.
But even after that, when she does end up getting,
is this the same video?
He's not there for her, and he places his career over. He placed his career over their relationship, over her well-being, and it's like kind of fucked up. It's not even kind of fucked up. It's just fucked up. It's very personal.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, especially the whole. I think she had like, I don't remember what it was called, but she had like a really bad reaction, and she had like something was ruptured or something. It was horrible, and nobody cared. He didn't care. The nurses didn't care. It was pretty shitty.
Indian guy from The Wanted here.
Okay.
Today I'm going to be talking.
Why did you show yourself on the screen, Jay?
Very personal.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The Indian guy.
Oh, hey guys. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me. Like. Hey guys, it's me. Like, hey guys, it's me, Ryan Beard. Like, obviously, you know I'm Ryan Beard. So when you turn the screen on, you don't need to flash who I am in front of there. You know, it's so weird to pull up your own picture.
From The Wanted here. Today I'm going to be talking about Gus Johnson. He rose to fame as a YouTube sketch comedian known for his impeccable humor. Currently, he has about 3.3 million subscribers and even appeared on Comedy Central. However, in October 2021, he was accused by his ex-girlfriend Sabrina of neglect.
Was that Disneyland?
Toxicity during her ectopic pregnancy that occurred a few years prior. He then uploaded.
Yeah, that was the ectopic pregnancy. That was fucking horrible.
A video as if nothing happened,
Ectopic?
followed by a lackluster apology. As a result, he was criticized by the YouTube community, disappointed countless people, and lost about 250,000 subscribers.
Whoa.
Even his best friend Eddie Burback cut all ties with him. This is what happened to Gus Johnson. Before I get into the video, I just want to thank.
I feel like what Gus Johnson did was shitty. What Gus Johnson did was like really shitty. But it's one of those shitty things where you can come back from it because it seems like it was shitty. It was selfish and it was shitty, and it was something that a young dumb person did. But it was something that like you can come back from if you genuinely apologize. And that's the problem, is it didn't feel like the apology was genuine. It didn't feel like he took the time off to think about why what he did was wrong. Why else do you take time off? It's usually performative, like we were saying before, but the actual goal is to take time off and like really reflect on the thing that you did that was wrong. And if you come back and you can't even like accurately express properly what the thing you did was wrong, you probably didn't actually reflect on the thing that you did that was wrong. And that's the biggest issue.
Today's sponsor, Roman. Roman is a digital health clinic for men. Look,
What happened here?
guys, when it comes to intimacy, we all want to feel confident, but sometimes erectile dysfunction gets in the way.
Jay, is this a joke, Ed?
The issue affects people differently, but it's something 52% of men will experience. I mean, more men will experience it than not. If this sounds like something you have dealt with, I really recommend seeking the help of today's sponsor, Roman.
Jay, all I have to do is look at one of your videos and my dick gets fucking diamonds, baby. What are you talking about? Also,
Roman can connect you directly with a licensed US healthcare professional for a free telehealth consultation from the privacy of your own home.
Okay.
If appropriate, the provider will find the right treatment for you and prescribe effective medication. So if you think this is something that will help you, you can head to getroman.com/ajay to complete your free consultation and find out if this is the right treatment for you.
now, people have asked me why. Last video, they said, Papa God, why did you watch the entire InternetAjay ad? Like, why don't you skip it like you usually do? The reason I'm trying not to skip the ad is because, you know, Ajay made the video. I might as well at least allow his plug to play on the video. But also, Ajay, is there a sponsorship you won't take? What the fuck is this? You're selling penis pills now? What are you doing? What the fuck?
Oh, and by using my link, you will get $15 off your first month of ED treatment, which benefits us both. Now back to the video. Gus Johnson.
Did you just tell me that pills for my penis benefit you and me, Ajay? Is that what you just told us? You're telling me that my penis pills benefit you and me? How about you ask me on a date first? You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. Talk about bad manners. You know? Talk about bad manners. Yeah, why didn't you... Hey, Ajay, try the product. How do you know it's good? You gotta try that product, brother.
Johnson's real name is...
Hey guys, I tried the product and it made me really hard. You know, that's what you should have done.
Gustav Emil Johnson, and he was raised in the simple Midwestern town of Grantsburg, Wisconsin.
Wow, I can't believe he just came out of Grantsburg, Wisconsin like that by calling it simple.
Created his YouTube channel in September 2010 and began uploading comedic skits featuring him and his friends. Initially, his videos didn't gain much traction, but he didn't seem to care. Johnson just wanted to make fun content and enjoy himself. Notably, on August 15th,
was this guy in the theater? Was this guy in the theater? Cringe. Let me just tell you something. Theater people are fucking assholes. I'm just telling you, they are dickheads, okay? You can be upset with me. Come at me, bitch.
2015, he posted a video called How to Get Free Food from Subway. It was a short 30...
You're a theater kid, bro. You know how toxic the theater crew is. Let me rephrase it. The theater scene that's toxic. Okay, not the theater kids, but when the theater kids are all together, it gets very toxic. You know that's true. Don't even try to pretend. Yeah, see? Yep, it's fake as fuck, it's toxic. Yup, I know. You think I don't know, but I fucking know, bro. I know. I know, dude. I know.
39-second clip that satirized the popular trend at the time of people hacking free things. Viewers instantly fell in love with Gus's comedic style, and luckily the skit went viral.
Jay, what the fuck? I just kind of noted. What is this outfit you're wearing? What is happening here? What are you doing, bro? I find it interesting that my InternetAjay videos have become like less about the what he's talking about and more about him. What do you do? What is it? Yeah, look at this. What's happening here?
Gucci.
His outfits are getting like sexier.
Hey guys, let me complicated
What are you doing? Jay, this is a little bit of a thirst trap here. Going on a job interview? Who are you trying to attract? Hey ladies, I'm on penis enlargement pills. Let's fuck. Click the link in my bio, you know?
Currently, it has about 3 million views. Over time, he uploaded short-form content that people really enjoyed and grew his channel. Johnson's specialty was over-the-top humor and making fun of certain personality types. For example, his 26-second video about the guy who wouldn't wear a jacket hit a massive 10 million views.
You guys are babies. It's not that cold. I haven't worn a coat since I was 5 years old. I got my t-shirt, my backpack, and I'm just fine. You chilly little bitches gonna sit and whine. I spread around campus cause you think I'm tough. That guy won't wear a coat. I bet he's cool enough.
He also made the guy who's in the industry and my personal favorite, the guy who always carries a knife. Overall, people generally like Gus as both a person and creator. After all, he constantly put a smile on the faces of millions.
Yeah, the Jay's making me bi-curious. So Illuminati was right. I gotta cancel InternetAjay. Oh my god, fuck.
In 2017...
That's true, he compared himself to somebody good looking at the beginning of the video. Okay, usually it's a self-deprecating joke. Or depreciating? I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Probably both pronunciations. Anyway, very interesting. Good catch. This is why I do these live, because half my takes aren't even my own.
Gus moved to Los Angeles with his best friend and longtime collaborator, Eddie Burback.
Oh, InternetAjay? More like InternetAgay. I got him, Biden Ross. Look at me, I'm woke as fuck, guys. Chicken nuggets are just babies. You know what I mean? Like, I'm insane.
In fact, the two started a podcast called the Gus and Eddie Podcast. While in LA, Johnson met a girl named Sabrina who would eventually become his girlfriend and be featured in many of his videos. Their first one together was about failing couples on Facebook. Remember that for later because it will be relevant.
Let's post some sappy captions and some photos on the town.
Maybe then our pals will think we're filled with smiles instead of frowns.
She's the best.
She's the one.
So impressed.
Having fun when it comes to happy couples, we are couple number one. Our mission is accomplished.
We faked another day.
And now we're filled with pain, we'd rather stuff it all away. I think we nailed it.
Shut up.
Can't believe they're lip singing. Jesus.
Okay.
And while with his best friend and partner at his side, Gus was unstoppable. His content was original and funny. Each video he made garnered millions of views on average. Notably, his success...
Oh, that was a joke about the content creators Illuminati. He with his conspiracy theories about chicken nuggets having to do with kids, like runaway kids or something, or disappearing kids. Usually... his theory is like, oh, you notice there's a lot of kids disappearing. What do you think is happening now? Of course, it's probably something like some kind of child trafficking, but of course, also chicken nuggets. So the takes get a lot more bizarre, like his take where maybe Hitler wasn't so bad because maybe he was just trying to deprogram the Matrix, right? So, you know, that's what we're dealing with there.
Didn't stop there. In January 2019, Johnson was nominated for Best Comedian at the YouTube Shorty Award.
Oh yeah, I bet with those pills from GetRoman.com, my Johnson could also be nominated for an award. If you know what I'm saying. Let me start my free online visit. You know what I mean? Of course. Of course.
In April that same year,
I'm making you money, Ajay. I'm making you money right now, brother. People are going to go look at that now. Also, though, like, it requires a doctor. Like, do you think grown men watch your stream? Not mine either. I mean, what are you doing? Plugging penis pills?
Featured on the H3 podcast when he was nearing 1 million subscribers.
Want to observe that Gus Johnson here, funny man, comedian, goofster, gaffster, musician, heck of a fun guy.
Oh, you. I'm on the brink.
Is on the brink of 1 million subscribers. If you look at the screen here, we're at 995,482.
Later, he even signed a deal with Viacom to appear on Comedy Central. However, everything came crashing down on October 22nd, 2021 when Sabrina posted a video called My Ectopic Pregnancy. In it, she stated she got pregnant several years ago by an unnamed partner.
So years ago, I found out that I was pregnant, and I did not want to be. I was not ready for that, and as soon as I confirmed it at home, I made it.
I felt like there was a woman talking, and that was the best time to check my queue, because like, who really cares what she's saying? Am I right, guys? What is she talking about? Oh,
and
insensitive time to do that.
I went immediately just to get a second confirmation and just find out where to go from there.
In addition, Sabrina mentioned she faced difficulty terminating the fetus despite living in California.
I had Kaiser Permanente at the time. They suck. First of all, Kaiser, you suck. I'm so happy I'm not with you anymore. But even though we're in California, you know, the bluest state.
You know, the good thing is that I have a lot more women in my chat now than I used to. Well, I don't know why you stay. I appreciate all of you, but it's funny. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. I'm sorry.
probably in the whole country, you still have to go through quite a few hoops to terminate a pregnancy, and it's scary.
Sadly, Sabrina said she felt pressured when her partner told her they would break up if she didn't go through with an abortion.
So it was really scary to be receiving all this conflicting pressure from medical staff and your body to not do it, and then being pressured by your partner to do it. It felt like I didn't even have a choice. It really felt like I wasn't even allowed to consider what would happen if I did.
You know, it's. I will say, just for context, I know that they had made an agreement beforehand that if this ever happened, she would get an abortion. And I've talked about how I don't like that line of logic, because I do understand saying like, hey, we shouldn't have kids, but there's a couple of problems with that. The first problem is, like I said before, that it's not that easy for a woman to get pregnant and say, fuck it, I'm just going to terminate it. It's something growing inside you. There's a very instant connection, and it's not as easy as just getting an abortion. Isn't as easy as just like fucking taking a shit, you know? But additionally, I think that there are a lot of men, and maybe this is just very anecdotal for me, but a lot of men who don't want to use any type of birth control, like they don't want to wear a condom or anything, and they use an abortion as the birth control. So, and this is very speculative, and I'm not trying to say he did this, but it does tend to happen where men are like, I don't want to use a condom, and like, but if anything bad happens, we'll just get a birth, we'll just use birth, well, we'll get an abortion. Not a big deal. And the girl's like, okay. And it's like this, it's a little bit of like a pressure dynamic there, or a power dynamic that favors the guy in the situation. And sometimes you'll use the abortion as like your like, rather than using it as like it should be a last resort, necessary evil type of a thing. It's more of like, if I don't pull out fast enough, who really cares, you know? So that's one of the problems that I do have with that idea of like, we'll just get an abortion. It shouldn't be that easy for you either. As a guy, you should at least like, you know, you should put more value into that. Like I'm pro choice, but like it shouldn't. I feel like part of the problem with the pro-choice movement specifically is the lack of caring. It seems to be very rather than being like, I know that people have circumstances that they're undergoing and whatnot, and I understand why they may need to use an abortion. Rather than that, it feels like kill it, fuck it, you know what I mean? And that's the unfortunate part to me, that those two things are, you know, colliding with each other.
Didn't. And I'm reiterating over and over, I mean, look at my appointments. This was always what I was going to do. I was constantly taking the steps to end the pregnancy. But it's really scary when somebody's forcing you to do it.
Sabrina even revealed he said he would resent her and the child if she gave birth.
Jesus. Forgot about
And I did have moments of weakness where I would cry and say things like, okay, but honestly, like, can we just consider, like, what if we didn't do it? Still gonna do it, but can we just consider what would happen if I didn't? And he would say, like, no, it's not even a question. You're gonna ruin my life if you do that. That would be the worst thing to ever happen to me. As along the lines of things that he would say. And at one point, he even said that he would break up with me if I didn't do it. And that he would resent me and the potential child.
To make matters worse, when she was feeling sick, she said he just went out for drinks instead of coming with her to the hospital.
Yeah,
so Sabrina went alone.
And, you know, trying to suck it up. And then all of a sudden, the weirdest painful sensation came over me again. But this time, it made me really dizzy and faint, and my heart was just racing, and I had this pain in my lower abdomen. I just knew something was wrong. And so I left work early. I called my boyfriend, and I told him, something's wrong. I'm going to the hospital again. I don't feel well. Something is wrong. And he said, okay, well, I have work to do, and it involves other people, and then we're gonna go out and get dinner and drinks with them.
Yeah, man, it's so bizarre, because like it's one of those things where that type of scenario, you know, I guess I forgot a lot of this, is where you analyze like, why would that be your reaction? Because I feel like it's normal for any partner, boy or girl. If something like this happens to your partner, you're like, oh, I'm dropping everything. like, oh, I have to work. There's absolutely no way. Even if I was like literally going to a 9 to 5, I would say I'm leaving right now. My wife's not, or my girlfriend rather, is in the hospital. Boom, done. Girls do the same thing. Guys do the same thing. It's about being supportive. It's about being there for the other person. And a lot of times too, when relationship dynamics, it's about it's such an interesting phenomenon, but usually the person in the hospital a lot of times is a little bit too bashful to advocate for themselves. So a lot of times it falls on the partner to be the advocator, because you know what I mean? It just seems to happen that way a lot of times. Where like the one person, they don't want to be a nuisance, and so they're like, oh, it's okay, this is okay, I understand this, but it's the partner who's there that's not the one going through the thing that's like, no, fuck that, we're going in, I need this and this, the advocation from the partner, and she lost that 100%, you know. Now that might be because he didn't really want to be with her anymore, or it might be because he like literally doesn't care at all, and that's the thing. Excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to burp like that. I would have at least burped attractively. Fuck, I was right in the middle of this speech. It's just something to be very speculative about, because I wonder what was going through his head. She's like, I have to go to the hospital right now, I'm not feeling well. He's like, okay, fuck it, I don't care, I got dinner tonight with some friends. Like, fuck that shit. To me, I mean, that's a big red flag. I could see why people would be like, ew, this is gross. I mean, there's really no excuse for it. I guess he just didn't care about her, and he was still with her, and so it raised the question, why did you stay with this person you don't care about? You know? And it was probably a shaming tactic. They're probably fighting about the abortion, and he was probably like, fuck you, I don't care about you. If you're not gonna kill this fetus, I'm not gonna be with you, you know?
So I had to go to the hospital alone.
Content creators are people are flawed. Yeah, I know that, I'm a content creator. But there's just some things that, like, you know, it's one of those things where you shouldn't let people off the hook in general. You know what I mean? Like, I would, if I had like a friend like that, I'd fuck them up. But what the fuck's the matter with you? And content creators have like a wider reach. And it's one of those things where, like, let's say Gus does this behavior and nobody really questions it. It makes the behavior more appropriate for like younger people. Be like, yeah, this is okay. This is okay behavior. You know what I'm saying? It really does happen. There's a lot of young impressionable people that are like, yeah, you know what? If I'm gonna fuck a girl, I don't really care. I'm gonna say we're getting an abortion, and if you don't do it, I'm leaving you, bitch. It's not really a good thing to add. You know what I'm saying? So you have to criticize these types of behaviors.
And I was there for about 4 hours by myself.
She later revealed she was diagnosed with a ruptured ectopic pregnancy.
Papa Gus is going to therapy. I ended up. Sorry, the chat scrolled. Papa Gus is going to therapy. Would you forgive him? Well, for one, it's not my thing to forgive. 2, I'm very skeptical, because I've heard the I'm going to therapy speech from content creators constantly. And what is I want you to actually be genuinely think about this. What is he going to therapy for? A lot of times content creators will say, I'm going to therapy as a general, like, way to get out of criticism. But there's nothing. What are they going to therapy for? Nothing. They're not going to therapy usually for anything. It's usually like, it's just like, oh, I'm going to therapy because like therapy equals getting better. So I'm just gonna. But what are you going to therapy for? What's the underlying issue? There's probably nothing there that he needs to go to therapy for. He's just a fucking scumbag. You know what I'm saying? And so what? It just sounds more like, what is he really going to go there for? It's just so that people feel like he's bettering himself when he probably isn't. And again, we talked about it before. You know, when he came back. His apology came after like releasing 1 or 2 other videos that had nothing to do with the situation. After saying he was taking a step back, he didn't address it until he felt like he had to be forced to address it. You have to think about this, right? So he left and saying that he needed time to reflect. He came back. He didn't mention it as his first thing to do, which suggests to me that he's trying to just let it blow over. And then when he did apologize, it was dog shit. And so, like, how are you going to therapy? Like, if you felt you needed therapy, you should have been going beforehand, but you didn't even critically think about what you did was wrong, you know?
It needed emergency surgery that could potentially kill her.
Finally, it seems like boyfriend is on his way, so that's nice. And he comes right in time to get the diagnosis. I had an ectopic pregnancy in my left fallopian tube.
I will say one thing. This always, like, this rubbed me the wrong way when I saw it. So it's the zoom in. I don't like it's like the dramatic zoom in that kind of bothers me a little bit, because it comes off as a little like ingenuine.
An ectopic pregnancy in my left fallopian tube. It ruptured.
Like that slow dramatic pan in, it just bothers me a little bit. Now maybe it was like an editor who was trying to like you know, hit some flair value there. I get it, but it just, for me, like, it feels a little performative. And like, I don't think that her situation was performative. Like, I feel this is a very genuine video that she made, but it comes off as a little bit like, it's like sensationalized. Like, even when you're talking about like a real thing, we still sensationalize it. Like, why do you need to sensationalize? This should be a very genuine moment. So it feels inappropriate, and it gets into a conversation about the way that content creators portray real information in their lives and the motivations for them to do so. Because like, if your motivation was like, I need to talk about this thing because like I want to talk to like my YouTube subscribers and it's something I want to get off my chest, and like this is my way of therapizing, doing therapy, therapizing. What the fuck's going on with me? I totally get that. But with the camera pan in, it's like, well, is there an aspect of that like trying to take a shot at Gus for being shitty, which is totally understandable, or maybe it's to drive traction to the channel. I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just when I see like this kind of like high quality production value, I remember that there was an edit of a underline, like,
I've been bleeding internally ever since.
like you can see that there's like I don't know, maybe it's just a mic catching the fire in the back, but it's very it sets like a tone. It just, some of it feels a little bit performative. And the rain effect, yeah, did they add a rain effect? Is that what I was talking about? And she did an ad at the end, which I get it because you need to make money. I'm not trying to be a fucking dickhead because I think that she's very genuine. It just kind of strikes me a little bit.
Since they were surprised I wasn't dead, and that if I don't have surgery right then and there, I was going to die for sure. And as an added bonus, the surgery might not go well and I might die during that too. It just really felt like my body, my choice never got to even apply to me. And that part really sucked.
Due to the trauma, Sabrina stated she couldn't be alone, which caused her partner to get sick of her.
My hormones after that rupture were just all over the place, and there were like some little complications even from surgery after. I would just have lots of random moments of just being thrown into that feeling of what it felt to be just dying all over again at random. I had no control over it. And the only person I could really lean on was my boyfriend because I couldn't tell anybody. And I don't fully blame him because that is a lot of responsibility to put on a single person. But he started to get real sick of me.
I wonder how early into the relationship this was too. I'm just genuinely curious.
I couldn't sleep by myself for the longest time, so I was over at his place, and I'm sure his roommates, loved that. But I was just broken.
On top of that, she claimed her partner said mean things like someone else would have left her by now.
And then he would
it's shitty.
Sometimes tell me things like, someone else would have left you by now, right?
That's fucked up. That's just like throwing it right in her fucking face. It's like, yeah, what I'm doing for you is charitable. I mean, what he's doing for her is expected in a relationship. So
the lack of support was really hard.
Overall, Sabrina's video received...
Was there an aspect of her mom not really being there for her? I feel like I remember that, but I could be wrong. I don't really remember.
...an overwhelming amount of support. Viewers were proud of her for being brave and sharing her story. Although Sabrina didn't explicitly name the partner she was with at the time, it was widely known she was referring to Gus Johnson. In fact, some internet
She was scared to tell her? Okay.
discovered an old Instagram post of Gus's from October 2018 when he was at the hospital with her. It said, "Back home after a long night of surgery at the hospital for Sabrina. This has been our 12th hospital visit in the last month. This last month has been real shitty with so much worry in medical care, and we just want to be done with it. Hopefully this should be the last procedure before her recovery checkups. We're doing the best we can over here and we appreciate you. I just realized this is the first time I've acknowledged my girlfriend publicly and stuff. We've been dating for almost a year now. It kicks ass. She's hot. Best lady 2K18.
Interesting.
It was essentially
It's interesting. It's an interesting post. Like, how do we read that? Because the feeling I got when I watched that video, and maybe I was wrong, is that he wouldn't go to like any doctor's visits with her, but he said that he's been with her for like 12 of the hospital visits. 12th hospital visit. So was he like turning up often? Was she sensationalizing it, or was he just like lying? And he just like, yeah, I've been here all the time. I'm super supportive. My girlfriend's cool. And then like after the camera's off, she's a fucking scumbag. You know what I mean? Or he's a scumbag to her is what I meant. I wonder.
almost a year now. It kicks ass. She's hot. Best lady to.
But again, the fact that he came out and you know what? The fact that he came out and he gave a bullshit apology suggests to me that like none of that like that to me. Like, if he didn't come back and say, listen, like, I was shitty, but, like, some of the way she framed it was wrong. He came back and he's like, oh, basically, he just acted like an asshole. So the only thing I'm really left to assume is that, like, he lied about going to the hospital with her 12 times. And he just made this Instagram post as, like, a performative measure to be like, guys, oh, look at how hard I've been working on my girlfriend. Look at how much work I've been doing going to the hospital, my girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's for the, it seems like he was just doing it for the gram. Because again, like, he came back, he didn't say like, hey, you know what, I am shitty and I'm mostly wrong, but, you know, I did try a little harder than she said. He came back like a fucking idiot, and he said some like really disingenuous shit, came off really shitty, and then like that just suggests to me that this was a fake performative post.
2018. It was essentially confirmed that the now ex-partner she discussed in the video was Johnson. The situation was particularly disappointing because Gus often made videos calling out women, but then turned out to be one himself.
Oh yeah.
As a result, he received a tremendous amount of backlash and lost about 40,000 subscribers within 2 weeks after Sabrina shared her story. People then went through his backlog and commented on any video featuring Sabrina, either offering support or saying they were disgusted that she was being the entire time. Notably, some discovered that Gus would rather stream than help Sabrina after she got a rhinoplasty.
I really don't like that Percocet, it just makes me feel like shit. And Gus helped me fall asleep earlier because I was really struggling. And then he hopped back on to go stream. And he was just like, for the second you want me to come back, I'll come back, no questions asked. I'll be right back, don't worry.
Okay.
I was like, okay, that made me feel secure. And I texted him multiple times while he was streaming. Because I'm just not feeling okay. Look. I'm like, are you almost done? Question mark. Are you coming back soon? What's up? And he would just like say like, oh well, I have to do 10 more. Like, it's an obligation at this point. Can I just wait a little bit, please?
Oh, and remember the first video they made together about a couple pretending to be happy for social media? Well, viewers wasted no time pointing out how it became an ironic reality. On October 25th, 2021, Gus tried to ameliorate the situation by apologizing on Twitter. He wrote, "I'm aware of a recent video that calls out some actions that I'm not proud of and I want to apologize. The circumstances were extremely hard and complicated for both of us, but I can't even begin to imagine how difficult it was for her. We were young and not remotely prepared to deal with all the realities of a long-lasting and traumatic medical situation. During the talks, counseling, and therapy we went through together following this time, I came to grips with my behavior and recognized my shortcomings, and I would like her to know just how deeply sorry I am. I fully realize what I did wrong and wish I could change how I responded and acted during that time. I've grown a great deal since that happened, and I wish I knew then what I know now. I will continue to grow and learn and strive to be a better person every day. At this time, I'm stepping away from the podcast, and the remainder of this year's live shows will be cancelled with full refunds being issued. I will also be taking some time off from posting and working for a while. Unfortunately, Johnson upset the community when he posted a video about a month later called The Kid in Gym Class Who Always Got an Ice Pack on December 3rd, 2021.
Oh, Mr. Thompson, I need an ice pack. Yeah, it's a bad one. It's a bad one. Thank you.
Yeah, this felt like really tone deaf because it's like the subject here basically is like, oh, I'm over exaggerating my pain. You know what I mean? It comes off as like very like suggestive to me. It may have been completely unintentional, but like, you know, he comes back saying like, oh, somebody's exaggerating their pains. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drawing a little parallel there, potentially.
Oh, I really needed that, yeah.
It alluded to a physical pain like what Sabrina experienced, which came off as tone deaf.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long for viewers to call him out for it. One person wrote, "This is the exact type of dude what the hell is wrong with you behavior that would be roasted on the podcast if some other comedian did it." Another criticized the short break and said, "Gus's cancellation break took less time than Eddie's usual upload schedule." Speaking of Eddie, he mentioned in a live stream that he lost trust completely and couldn't work with Gus in the future.
And normally I wouldn't want to talk about this stuff, but I feel like if I don't, I'm going to be asked about it for years. So I just want to be really clear with you guys because I saw some confusion. God, it even sucks to say. I mean, I saw you guys pretty much all assuming it. Like, the podcast is not coming back. I don't want to get into private details too much because that makes me uncomfortable. But if I'm being honest with you, like, trust between us from me is completely broken, and I just can't work with him in the future.
Forced to respond, Gus uploaded an apology video on January 23rd, 2022 called Talking About the Last Few Months. In it, he stated he didn't realize the pain Sabrina was going through and got caught up in his own feelings.
Hi everyone, I'm sorry I didn't make this video sooner. I stepped away from social media for the last 3 months to really reevaluate everything that's going on in my life right now.
And then I posted a funny video after I came back. I'm like, okay, you didn't post it sooner on purpose. That's the problem.
And I'm here to talk to you today about everything that's been happening. I think that during that time I was so close to the situation that I was not able to fully realize and understand the pain that my partner was going through. And
I just never understood that. I remember posting this video about the critique, and people were like, I was like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're with your partner and you just didn't understand their pain. That doesn't make sense. And people were like, yeah, it makes sense to me. I don't see it. I don't see that. I've never experienced that. And I know you could be like, well, that's very anecdotal, Papa Guy. But it's like, well, a lot of the things that we talk about are life experience type things. And I don't know that I've ever been in a situation where I've been so close in this context. I've been so close to my partner that I didn't realize they were in pain. That doesn't make sense. Especially since this isn't like a nuanced thing. You know, maybe if you were with somebody where they were like depressed and they were hiding it and you couldn't tell the signs because you're so close to them, like maybe that, I guess. But like, this doesn't feel like that. This feels very straightforward, like type of a situation, you know?
I was not able to fully understand the impact that I had on that situation. I think that I was so caught up in my own overwhelming fear of what was going on that it made it difficult for me to see through that, to really connect with and understand her sense of fear.
Johnson also mentioned...
Hey, you want me to find a way to put my chat in the overlay? I have the way to do it. Look at that. Boom, done. I just don't know if people would like it. I don't know if I would like to put the chat in there. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a good idea or not. You know what I'm saying? Do you like that? I'm fucking on point, bro. Look at that. It hides all the bullshit to the side, too. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the aesthetic. I don't know how I feel about the aesthetic. You know. Plus, part of it too is like I don't want to like. I love talking to you guys, but some of it feels like I don't want to get. I feel like the maturity of the chat will go down if I put my chat up there like that. You know what I mean? There are times where, like I'm talking about a serious topic, and and this was like a whole thing I had to do for a while, where like I would be talking about something very serious, and people would start saying like fart and butt, and I just started banning them because like we're talking about like a serious nuanced topic, like let's say we're talking about like sexual assault, and people are saying like fart, and I'm like, okay, you're banned. Like I don't even care. It's you know what I mean? So that's kind of why. I could do this. Check this out.
He had a tendency to shut down during a crisis.
This medical situation happened over 3 years ago, and we continued to date for a few more years after that happened. And during those few years, we talked about this medical time a lot, and we sought couples therapy together and individual therapy, and this was discussed at length. And
interesting.
I think that it just took me a while to really realize my shortcomings during this time and the impact that I'd had on my partner in this terrible period, and how my words and actions made the situation worse. And that was something that was hard to realize, and just made me feel very foolish and remorseful for my behavior at certain periods during that time. One thing that's been made clear to me is that I have a tendency to just kind of shut down and shut off and shut out during times of crisis.
Finally, he apologized to his ex.
You know, it's interesting because like this is like so much of like a he said she said, you know. If I don't know, because I remember there's something that like rubbed me the wrong way about the way that Gus treated this situation. He treated it like as if it wasn't like reasonable or serious. One thing I will say is if it's true that they had like that was a shitty thing that he did, but you know, and there might be pieces missing, but if they had that situation and they actually went to therapy together and they legitimately, that was like a focal point on their relationship, was that moment, and they were able to move past it in a reasonable way, and they stayed together for a long period of time, again with the therapy, if that part is true, you know, then like that does bring into question, you know, if this was generally resolved, why did she talk about it? You know what I mean? I'm sure it was a traumatic experience for him or for her, you know. But without the context of like, yeah, and you know, like if she at no point did she say like, yeah, after we had this horrible situation where Gus was like wrong, we went to a therapist and we tried to work through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I wonder if he's lying about the therapy, or he's like misinforming us about like what the focal point of the therapy was, or if she didn't bring it up because maybe she would have felt like it would have hurt her story. I don't know. And I know a lot of this is very speculative and some of it might feel a little insensitive, but like obviously these are the questions that I feel like need to be answered. So
Dex and everyone that he hurt.
My partner and I split up a few months ago, and I'm glad that she's finding a new sense of self. And I'm really glad that she feels comfortable sharing this story as part of her healing journey, and I hope she keeps doing it.
But also, if that's part of, like, this is the thing too, if like, let's say that at that part, let's say that this horrible thing happened and Gus was a real piece of shit, and then they went to therapist and they tried to work through it, and they like successfully satisfied it to like as much as you could, because that's still going to be like a traumatic experience. And then let's say that she made that video without the context that, like, you know, he made a conscious effort to try to, you know, understand and be better. Why not come out and say, like, you know, I'm really sympathetic to her, and what I did was really fucked up, and like I was horrible, but we did go to a therapist and I did my best to work through it after the fact. And like, hey, this kind of feels a little bit like a character assassination after the fact. Like, I fucked up real bad. You know what I mean? And I feel like part of it could be because he's just being disingenuous and he doesn't give a shit. And that's actually not true. Or part of it is like people are afraid when they fuck up to like express themselves on YouTube. Everybody goes to like a fucking, they might as well just like go and write a cookie cutter script of like a YouTube apology, you know, and people come off very disingenuous and they try to like to tiptoe and walk on eggshells around it. And I don't understand, because those apologies never work. Why not be a better advocate for like the situation if that's true? That's what I would do. I'd be like, hey, listen, like I was fucking shitty. I was young and really dumb, and what I did was fucking horrible and disgusting. But you know, after the fact, I did make like a conscious effort to try to be better. And like it's totally chill that she, like, I think it's like, you know, I have no problem with her sharing the story because I did this and I fucked up and like this is my problem. But at the same time, like I also feel like it would have been nice if she recognized that I put a lot of effort into trying to reverse it. Like that's how I would have come about it if that was true, you know? So, and that's one of the things where it's like so normal to be dishonest on the internet. So fucking weird, you know?
I just feel so foolish for the shortcomings that I brought forth during this time, and I just feel incredibly regretful for just the dumb stuff that I said. And the hurt is extended beyond that. There are a number of people who engage with my content or who I work with professionally that have been negatively affected as a result of my actions and my words. And I just would like to extend my sincerest apologies to these people as well.
Unfortunately, his apology was generally poorly received. For one, it was criticized for being too short, as the video was only 4 minutes and 47 seconds long.
That part's a dumb. See, this is so interesting though, because that's a stupid criticism to make for an apology video. In fact, I feel like the videos are too long. Apologies are too long. One of the things in my experience that I've seen from apologies, like internet apologies, TikTok, YouTube, etc., is that they tend to be very long-winded, specifically so that you don't engage with the apology. This is what they do a lot of the times, right? They'll ramble for 2 minutes, and they'll say some suggestive language like, I'm a better person now. A lot of people tune out at that point, and they're like, okay, because some people don't look into these very critically. And then they just go on and on and on and on and on and give you like a disingenuous apology. At least this was quick. Most apologies should be quick. You know, there's definitely can be context to things that you do wrong, 100%. But it shouldn't take you 4 hours to do it. You know what I mean? So I feel like this was a short apology. The length of the apology was totally fine. But it's so interesting how people like demand longer apologies. You know, you can have a long, genuine apology. I'm not saying that you can't, but it's interesting that like that's a factor. It's not long enough. You know, because what is that? What's the feedback loop signal? What does that signal to YouTubers who fuck up? Oh, I need to make sure I have a long apology. You know, your apology should be appropriate to the action that you cause. You know, you should explain it as much as needs to be explained. There shouldn't be a number time on there. If you can do it in 5 seconds, then you should, if somehow you can. You know, like PewDiePie's apology for saying that, the N-word was like short and to the point, you know? It wasn't like, it was like, hey, I fucked up and it was shitty. You know what I mean?
Gus didn't really appear to want to go into detail or specifics. In addition, the apology came months too late. Sabrina's video was posted in October and his came out in January. Beyond that, many viewers felt it wasn't genuine in the
Maybe he was just on a sugar high, bro. He's like, hey, it's holiday season. I gotta go get my trick or treat candy, and I gotta go Christmas time, and then after Christmas I'll release an apology.
slightest because there was no heartfelt remorse. I mean, Johnson even used the word foolish, which honestly just downplayed the significance of his negative actions. Foolish would be more appropriate for a silly prank gone wrong, not a and neglect. Unfortunately, others echoed similar sentiments about Gus's lack of sincerity. There is no way that this man can sound genuine saying a single thing that he says. As someone who's been in an emotionally abusive relationship, this video gives me a not so great feeling. I empathize with Sabrina and wish her the best. Healing trauma is not easy. The satire in his sketches is always 3 layers deep. Overall, it seemed like Gus didn't really learn anything, wasn't actually sorry, and just wanted to brush off the situation like some dog shit from his shoe. On January 24, 2022, Sabrina tweeted about Gus's claim in the apology video that the two tried couples therapy.
Ah, okay, here we go. Thank you, Ajay. Give me what you got, brother.
She wrote, "Never been to couples therapy a day in my life."
Oh, bro, what? That's my face right now. Look at how stupid I look right now. Well, I'm not saying he looks stupid. I'm saying that I look stupid. This is my reaction. What a scumbag. What a scumfuck piece of shit. So they've never been to couples therapy before? Why would he say that? That kills everything. That assassinates his entire, like the entire narrative that we constructed of like potentially, you know, whatever, is dead in the water. This motherfucker was said we went to couples therapy? Bro, what a stupid fuck. Bro, I can't even believe that I gave him like the benefit of the doubt here. How crazy is that? What a fucking scumbag. We went to couples therapy. Shut the fuck up, dude. That's bad. That's pretty bad. Did he respond to that?
Johnson then replied by tweeting, "Very confused why Sabrina is claiming I lied in my apology. We attended hours of couples."
Okay, let's see. Now I gotta stop talking until I read through this.
"Coaching sessions with a specialist that Sabrina picked out herself. During these sessions, we worked on conflict resolution, communication, goals, etc. Here is some proof. Gus then
Okay. Video session. So we have 2 video sessions, one in July and one in September. Is there more than that?
attached several receipts of screenshots for payments for video sessions, goals, etc.
I mean, what, you had 3 receipts? Okay.
Here is some proof. Gus then attached several receipts of screenshots for payments for video sessions. Sabrina replied by stating the sessions were with a TikTok dating coach and mainly focused on Gus's desire for polygamy. Unlicensed.
Jesus Christ, she's fucking hitting him hard. You fucking go, damn.
TikTok dating coaches are not therapists. These sessions were not regarding my pregnancy or PTSD at all, but mainly centered around Gus's desire to fuck other people and have me be okay with it.
Whoa, now that's a sussy claim, Gus. Gus Sus? That's from a movie. It's Gus Bus. What a fucking scumbag.
Pregnancy or PTSD at all, but mainly centered around Gus's desire to fuck other people and have me be okay with it. Ultimately, the Gus Johnson situation is a very disappointing one. He was abusive both mentally and verbally to Sabrina during—
Holy shit, bro. That was fucked up. Holy bench warmers. Bro, like, that seals the deal. Like, Gus Johnson is a fucking scum piece of shit.
A pregnancy that almost killed
Holy
her. Remember,
shit.
he was the father of the unborn child, so he was fully responsible as well. Instead
What's the TikTok dating coach? I don't know. Ask Ajay. He probably uses them.
of helping his partner at the time, he just inflicted significant mental trauma. To make matters worse, his apology seemed contrived. Personally, I'm very sorry about what happened to Sabrina.
Well, that's
I feel
nice.
sad and can only imagine the intense pain she suffered for so long.
Also, I'm single. Ajay, we both know you're trying to slide in there, bro. We both know that you're trying to slide the fuck in there, dude. Just make sure you wear a condom.
Don't forget.
And also, you can slide in there really well with your pills from GetRoman.com/Ajay. 15% off hard cock pills to fuck my future wife. That's what he's thinking about this girl.
Forget the incident happened a few years ago, and despite everything, she still stayed with Johnson until relatively recently. I truly wish her the best in the healing process. Please give her a follow on Instagram or Twitter and just send a positive message if you can.
Ajay, post. You have to plug your Instagram, bro.
I think,
bro, tell me that I'm wrong about him shooting a shot with her.
Process. Please give her a follow on Instagram or Twitter and just send a positive message if you can.
You know he's shooting his shot. He's like, oh shit, girl, you had an ectopic pregnancy. Well, shit, let me get on topic you. I don't know. That's an insensitive joke, but it does explain the fucking shirt. It explains the shirt. It explains the penis pill plug, and it explains him trying to love bomb her. Ajay, let me tell you something, brother. I'm fucking on to you. You think that I'm stupid? You think that I don't know the weird shit that guys do to try to get some girlies? You know, it might be a little tone deaf to plug penis pills in a video like this. Yeah, Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he means anything bad by it. But it's very sussy, Ajay.
I think she
Show
would
me your
appreciate
Instagram.
the support even if she doesn't really know us. Now, Gus recently mentioned in an Instagram video that he would be returning with more skits.
What is the black screen?
Hey.
Oh, I thought it was like a Black Lives Matter thing.
How you doing? It's good to see you. Listen, I just want to tell you I'm working on some new sketches and stuff right now. I should have a new video up hopefully by the end of this week, and we're going to start streaming again real soon. I hope you're well. It's lovely to see you again. Give me a kiss.
And well, he posted on Valentine's Day and then again on February 22nd, 2022 with a video called Russian Olympians at the Cafeteria. I read the comments and there seems to be no mention of the Sabrina situation, so I think he deleted or moderated them in some way.
Yep.
Currently, Gus is hemorrhaging subscribers and lost about 250,000 since Sabrina's video. I really hope he reflects deeply on the situation and feels true remorse for his actions.
Listen, Ajay.
Because based on the evidence, I don't think he does, but I am not Gus and only he knows how he feels.
Oh, stop with that. I know how Gus feels. He doesn't give a fuck that he treated her like shit. The fuck you talking about? You don't know how she feels? Get the fuck out of here. I'll say, you know how I feel? Gus is a scum piece of shit. After that right last part where we already knew that bullshit, disingenuous fucking apology, throwing in that they went to therapy, only to turn out that that's not true. Bro, you want to know what that narrative pushes? It's a narrative I almost fucking fell for. Ajay saved us today. Ajay is our fucking Lord and Savior. Because what he was trying to say is like, hey, I did a bad thing, but then we saw couples counseling, and I turned myself around, and I was a better boyfriend from that point on, and that's why she stayed with me for so long afterwards. That's the narrative he was trying to push, and I was like, okay, interesting. I didn't know that part, right? I didn't really think about it in that capacity. And then this motherfucker turns out dating coaches because he wanted to be fucking polyamorous or whatever. And listen, you do you. I tried it for a stint, wasn't for me. Thought it was, but anyway. But like, you're going to sit here and tell people that, like, oh, that was for couples counseling because you fucking rejected her during an ectopic pregnancy and you were a fucking manipulative scum fuck piece of shit. Dude, that's where it is. That's the line. That's the line where it's like, boom. I would sit here and I would actively tell you guys that, like, this is a person that doesn't seem to understand how to grow as a person. He's not somebody that's worth following. He's a bad content creator. He's a scumbag. He's somebody you shouldn't support because you absolutely can support flawed people. But, like, the worst flaw is to be, like, an outright manipulative, dickheaded liar. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the fucking worst part about it. So, yeah, man. I know. Fuck this guy. Fuck you!
I mean, Sabrina and the community deserve nothing less, but it has to come from Gus and not be forced out of him. Only time will tell, but I hope he does the right thing. Thanks so much for watching.
You know what he'll do? Let's say he does decide to apologize. Check this out. Here's my prediction. Maybe give it a couple months. Maybe a little less than that, and fucking Gus over here, Gus Johnson is going to get to a point where enough time has passed, and he's going to try to come back, and he's going to try to do another apology. But this time, he's heard every bit of criticism as to why his original apology was bad, so he's going to do his best to say the right things. That's what's going to end up happening. He's going to come back, guys. I reflected after going to my own therapist. By the way, he already lied about going to therapy, so he's not going to therapist. I told you before, it's bullshit. I went to my therapist, and I really learned that this was wrong, he's going to check the boxes of every big content creator who criticized him for whatever he did. And it's going to get so close to coming out as genuine. But people are going to see through it. And he's going to get fucking whipped and nay-nayed, bro. So, fuck you, Gus Johnson, bitch. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.